What's up, guys? What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Deck Talk Podcast. And sorry for getting to you a little late. We have had some technical issues, and the technical issues was there was over 1,200 people that had no power around me. So we just got power back not too long ago, and but we had change of plans, and I'm glad that I've got friends that are willing to help out with the podcast, and that's wanting that all I have to do is just make a phone call.
No, come sit and talk fishing.
And we're gonna sit and talk some fishing. And but with that being said, guys, hold on, I'm trying to. With that being said, sorry, we got some business to take care of. This episode is brought to you by Firefly Outdoor Marine, and we just had Chad Watts on with the recorded episode. And if you watch that torch light, you have got to get put on your boat. If you have power poles, any kind of poles, the Minn Kotas and stuff like that, whatever, it will fit on either one of any of the poles and stuff. It actually will fit onto the light pole itself. But it is a phenomenal light. If you're wanting to be able to have a good light when you're running down the river, it is the light for you. Right now they are doing a sale. It's a Black Friday sale, and it to get the code for it is Firefly 15. If you use that, you're gonna get a good discount off of it. It's not just for that torches; it's for all the navigational lights. But with that being said, I'm Colin Burnett.
I'm Pappy J, and it's good to be back and seeing y'all again. I hope everybody had some good holiday, ate plenty of turkey and ham. Hey, we're just gonna dive right straight into it, baby. This is our valor for the evening. Sergeant Burnett Steve, he was with a 75 Charlie Personnel Management. He specialized in the second Armor Division at Fort Hood, Texas, and with the headquarters. He was in Germany from 72 to 75. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for your service and your dedication to this country. Without you, we couldn't be doing what we're doing. And we just want to thank you for all the men and women out there, what they're doing, keeping us safe, keeping our borders safe, keeping the country safe. Because I tell you guys, if it wasn't for them men and women, we wouldn't be able to get out there and float on the water and wiggle the worm and throw a spinner bait or shoot a deer or whatever it is. So we just want to thank y'all for what y'all do. What y'all do for us.
And that, again, you hit the nail on the head, Pappy. But do you want to talk real quick, kind of go over what we got for our vets?
Yeah, I would love to. You got something handy? I left mine in my bag, and my bag is in the kitchen in there.
Yeah.
So we have got some challenge coins that we will be sending out. One of them is for our veterans. It's got is that the one that's got the prayer?
Yeah, it's got the prayer on the back.
Yeah, and that's going to be going out to all the veterans. And then our active duty coin is for the ones that are still serving. You guys will be getting this coin here. Awesome coins, guys. I mean, hey, this is just showing a little bit of appreciation for what y'all done, what y'all sacrificed. We will be sending these out to you guys, so we'll reach out to the ones that we have currently already done.
Sorry.
So if you have passed along any kind of information on our soldiers and our vets, just send us an email so that we can reach out, or include a phone number and an address. That way we can mail them out, or if you would rather it come to you, if the loved one has passed on. But either way, the challenge coins will be coming out. It'd be something that it'd be great. Something that it's good just to display it, either however you want to. So you got something you want to say, Carl?
Hey, and can you tell us for people that want to have their to have somebody recognized, will you tell them how they can send the stuff to us?
Absolutely. So you get on here and you can send us the soldier's information to Josh Vaughn at decktalkpodcast.com. And what we would like is we would like his or her rank name, last, first, last, it doesn't really matter. When they joined, the date of service, where they served at, what unit they was attached to, and if they served overseas, what theater, whether it be Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, whatever, let's push these guys out. Now, if they're active duty, we don't really want a whole lot of information. Basically, name, rank, date of service, and maybe their unit that they're attached to. You can put all that, and we'll go from there. But we don't want to put a whole lot of information on our current soldiers that are currently in service, just for security reasons.
Right. Yeah. So,
let me say this too: the two soldiers that just lost their life over in Washington D.C. On part of Deck Talk podcast, our hearts and prayers go out for those families and the soldiers. It's sad, man. It's sad that our soldiers can't even be in the streets, protecting or just protecting us without somebody coming along and ending theirs.
Yeah,
so
being stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thoughts and prayers out to the family, and thoughts and prayers out to the people that served with those guys.
Exactly.
Because they're going through just as much emotional distress as what a family member would do, because that is a brother. All right. And thoughts and prayers out. But with that being said, we have had this cat on the podcast, I think, 2 other times?
I think we've only done it once.
Has it only been once? I know we
done one at Jackson. We done one at my house.
Yeah, out of the boat. Yeah,
that's right.
And so it's been twice. This is his 3rd time coming on to the podcast. And if you are a local fisherman around the Chattanooga area, I'm sure you recognize this cat. He's a good friend of ours and of the podcast. He supports us, and it's been an honor to be able to be friends with him for, I can't tell you how long I've known old Ryan. But guys, we got Ryan Godsey, the local hammer, and I'm trying to just boost him up and trying to.
That's kind of a little. I think the hammer part went off a few years ago when I started working a full-time job and fishing full-time.
Welcome to adulthood.
Welcome to being an adult. Once I hit after high school and got out of high school fishing, it kind of went, choo.
Yeah. So, speaking of high school, I want to talk to you about, in high school, though, you had sponsors and stuff, right?
In high school, I had sponsors. I had everything. I had the school sponsors as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that the school sponsors actually kind of followed me as well.
Right.
Too.
Now, has it been difficult I say you're young. You're younger than what Pappy and I are. For a younger angler, in which you haven't been out of high school too terribly long.
5 years, I think it is this year.
And so, you could probably still smell what the hall smell like.
Yeah. You go by the school, you still remember the smell of it.
But so has it been hard for, and I'm asking this because if there's somebody that's watching that their kids may be taking that next step to where they still want to fish. They may be going collegiate fishing. But if they go to collegiate, then that college is going to be able to have their own sponsors. It's going to kind of just roll over from high school. But let's say they're getting out of collegiate or high school or whatever, and they want to kind of do the role that you did, to go hit these tournament trails. But it's your responsibility now to be able to. So has it been difficult, or what is the process that you have taken for that sponsorship to be able to get? I mean, because you still have quite a few sponsors in itself right now.
I have a tremendous following of my sponsors. I'm very thankful for every one of them that has helped me over the last few years after getting out of high school. But it's been very difficult, because there's some people that don't know who you are and they don't want to take a chance on you, and there's some that will be like, okay, let's take a chance on you 1 year. And it's been very difficult, but there's always times where you just got to push through it and keep adding on to it. You know what I mean?
Now, because even because we understand the sponsorship wise with the podcast and stuff like that. And I mean, that's a full-time job in itself with keeping up with the sponsorships. I mean, because when you how many people have you been like, hey, I'll put your company name on my jersey. I'll put it on my boat, and but just give me free product. I mean, how many people are just gonna be like, yeah, let's do that. I'm going. I mean, for the most part, they're like, nah. You're gonna have to. I mean,
you're going to prove yourself,
right? And so, and that's where I kind of want to focus. This question is because a lot of these kids that I've seen and that we've talked to, they think that if they get it, they're getting all this product. You get product. I'm not saying that you don't get product. And I mean, because if you look at the wall that's behind
me, right there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that product is from. I mean, you see where it's bruiser baits that I have gotten. And a lot of it I have gotten from, using people's discount codes like you have, and what we have to be able to purchase. If I've seen that you were actually playing with the Thunder Rocket spinner bait, and but where I learned about the Thunder Rocket was Ryan, and so it's one of them things, that. It's a working process. You have always, I see your social media, the things that you've done, and the videos that you do. I mean, people think, well, here's Ryan again, or here's Colin or Pappy doing something, trying to plug some other company or plug it. But it's a job. People are giving you money, even if it's just product or if it's cash and stuff. It's a job. It's not something, and that's where I want to go with these kids. I want these kids to realize, you have to work for it. The company, it's not that they don't care about Brian or Pappy or myself.
They want to see that you're going to work hard to represent them, and once they see that, that's when it's going to change from product to money.
Yeah, and so. And that's I wanted somebody else, because we could say that until we're blue in the face, and we're just two old guys. And so, but
I understand where you're coming from.
No,
you're old. You're the oldest one in this bunch.
Easy now, easy.
So, what's up? We got the traveling fisherman on. What is up, brother? So I hope that eye appointment went well for you, bro. So, But with that being said, I want people to these kids and the parents and stuff, because again, and I'm sure you've had it too, to where they've come up to me like, oh, how do I get sponsorship? And nowadays, with this past year has probably been the hardest, and I don't know if it's been on you. I think it's been for everybody, every angler. To get sponsorship, because of the tariffs.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid because they don't know what it's going to cost them to go, because 80%, maybe higher than that, 80% of the companies have something that's being sourced from out of the country,
from somewhere else,
and so they're getting affected. And so I've seen it down to from rods, reels. The baits itself, and so it's been hard. And we've talked to people that's big in the industry, and they're like, this year and next year is probably going to be the toughest years to be able, until it kind of smooths itself out. And it may just be the next year, but it's not saying you can't go
and get sponsors that
but
pay you, but
you have to work for it.
You've got to work your tail off and prove to them that you're going to do your job and post and
Yeah.
show their stuff and everything like that.
Right. So, with that being said, let's talk some off. Let's get off the sponsorship. Let's talk about the. We got probably two of the best bass fishing leagues in the country right now.
We do.
And I'm glad that Chickamauga's kind of dropped on the national ranking a little bit. It's not that, because we have seen a little bit of people not coming to Chickamauga, but we got 3 lakes right in our backyard that we had one that we called the Hidden Gem.
It was the Hidden Gem until this year.
Yeah, until Bass Pro Tours came. And then Wheeler showed that he can go catch big smallmouths down below the dam.
Throw in a topwater at that.
Yeah. And then Jake Lawrence
on the very
bottom. And so they have both ends of the spectrum, so where it's good on both ends of the lake.
The craziest part is Jake Lawrence stumbled across one of the best spots on the lake. And it's the craziest thing because
and his was topwater too.
His was a buzzbait, Buckeye buzzbait with a ribbit frog on it. Something that I've done for years, and had to hide it because it was one of those baits that. But when it come out on TV, I was like, you can't hide this now.
No.
But it was funny going to Jake, and me and Jake have talked fishing Toyotas against each other. And he was like, I just gave him that look, and he said, "Did I find it?" I said, "Dude, you found one of the best areas on the lake." And he just laughed. I said, "You can go in there anytime and catch a big one." Yeah. And he goes, "I did."
Well, the opportunity is,
and that whole area right there where he did that at.
Yeah. Well, but to come to Chattanooga and do what he did against by far the best angler in the world in his backyard. And because people think, well, Wheeler lives on Chickamauga. I've seen Wheeler just as much as I've seen him on Chickamauga. Well, I've seen him more on Chickamauga, but I have seen him quite a bit of times on Nickajack.
Oh, yeah.
And so I haven't seen him. Well, I guess I haven't seen him in a while because he's got that incognito boat.
And it's crazy to say that. Like his other boat, his camera boat. Mm-hmm. I see it all the time. And it's funny because he'll see me go by and he'll throw his hand up and we'll just wave at each other because we know, like, I don't want to bring no attention to him because I know he's out there just having a good time. Mm-hmm. He's either filming a video or he's having a good time fishing with his kids. I don't want to ruin that.
Yeah.
And even though we're good friends, we're still going to wave at each other and just go fishing on our own daily.
Yeah. So, but have you got any questions about any kind of Nickajack, Chickamauga, and?
Well, I was going to say, Nickajack has really caught fire within the past few years, I guess. I know when I fished, when I fished Nickajack, back in the day, it was not as good as it is now. And it was the same way with Chickamauga, though. If you caught a 3-pounder on Chickamauga, that was a toad. Now it ain't. It's nothing like that anymore. And it's crazy. from fishing back then to fishing now, it's good to see that transition. Because now we know, because if you wanted to go catch some decent fish, you had to go to Gunnersville. That's where all the good fish were at. We had to travel to Gunnersville to catch a 5-pounder or a 8-pounder or something like that. But then when they started bringing these Florida strings in and really pumping them in, then
That's
when
where
you're
the
going
big
to
thing.
start
That's
getting
where it changed when they started stocking Nickajack with the Florida string.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just they stocked them. Every year we had the floodgates open, and there's thousands of fish that go through a lock a day or through a spillway. And I get for a few years before they started stocking, you started seeing the big ones, the giant ones coming. But you only see.
But they're thriving on that south end, though.
You're seeing the 10-pounders on that very low end that are hydrilla fish, that are eelgrass fish, staying down there, that are feeding all day, every day, becoming the 10-pounders they are.
Yeah, and I mean, because you would, I mean, it was not too many years ago that you would not even hear that a 10-pounder was caught on Nickajack. If you heard that a 6 to 7-pounder was caught on Nickajack, I mean, you were stoked for the person because that's a monster fish.
That's a fish of a lifetime.
And that's what I was saying. I mean, Nickajack's come a long way. It's came a long way from when I fished it when I was young. When I was Ryan's age to today, it's came a long ways.
Yeah,
long ways.
Well,
and I'm glad though.
Yeah, and what do you think with Nickajack? Like the only thing that I've really seen, I mean, because the north end you got Chickamauga, south end you got Gunnersville. Mm-hmm. Again, two of the top tier lakes. Gunnersville probably being the best bass fishing lake in the United States. Yeah. And then you got Chickamauga, which is, I think last time I checked was like 13th or something like that.
Yeah, they dropped out of the top 10.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got buddies that's out there on Chickamauga every day, and you're not seeing as many posts as what you was or hearing the talk. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we used to hear at least once, twice a week that somebody caught a 9+ on Chickamauga. Now you don't really hear. I mean, but Chickamauga's been hit hard for the past 8-10 years.
I'd say 10 years. And I think Chickamauga's been hit the hardest than any other lake in the world.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I can tell you when it really started getting hammered was when Bassmasters came into Dayton. When that happened,
that happened,
when it really started bringing everybody in.
But it was so. Do y'all remember during Bass Fest that they dropped? I think it was like the guys who didn't make day 3. They dropped them down to Nickajack. Nobody's ever seen that place. Mm-hmm. None of them guys have ever been there, and it was so funny because it was so different from then to now. Like people can go back and watch that Bass Fest. Mm-hmm. You'll see what I'm talking about here. There was only one 10-pounder caught that, and Skylar Hamilton caught that below the dam, doing something that a lot of us don't do, but a lot of us do. The guys who know what to do down there do it.
Oh yeah,
but Skylar caught a 10-pounder down there, and it's the biggest fish caught of the tournament, even on from Chickamauga.
Yeah, but I mean, when that Bass Fest, if I remember correctly, if I'm thinking of the same tournament, like I mean, for like 4 or 5 years after that Bass Fest. I mean, you had MLF coming, Bass Pro, or it wasn't MLF at that time. It was FLW. Was coming, and then you had Bassmasters coming, which they had. I don't think the Opens fished there that often.
Opens only come to Chickamauga. I mean, every blue moon.
Right, but I think they did. They had like an EQ type. It wasn't called EQ, it's whatever, but it's something.
I remember this because it was the Bass Open. It was the Bass Opens, but it was when you could qualify through 4.
Right.
And a buddy of ours here from East Ridge actually won that.
Yeah.
I remember that vividly because he was laughing to me. He goes, I didn't think this would happen. You know what I mean?
But I mean, from like that Bass Fest, like people were used to, I mean, when they were coming in to where I think for you to cash out just get a check, you was having to hit like 27, 28 pounds a day.
Yep.
And I mean, that's massive wherever you go. And then I think, what was it? When Lee Livesey won on Chickamauga
in the fall,
I think he averaged 31, not quite 32 pounds a day. And I mean, and he smoked them. And
then the next year they come back, and Jason Christie went up to Hiwassee throwing a spinnerbait.
Yep. And so, and it's been like it's tried and true. Chickamauga is tried and true. But how many? If you go to the boat ramp, any boat ramp, public boat ramp, and there's 10 trucks in the parking lot, how many of them is out of state? I'd say 7.
Yeah.
7. There's not really. I mean, if you go to
Chester
Frost or Harrison Bay, you're going to see, or even in Dayton, you're going to see those
8 to 10 boats from out of town.
Yeah, and I mean, but it's crazy how. All right, brother. We'll see you later. That was Traveler Fisherman said he's got to run.
See you, Bubba.
But since they dropped it down, I mean, we're still having tournaments to where on a weekend that you're having 200 to 300 boats on.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's all year round for Chickamauga.
It is.
But again, you got Guntersville south of us, and I think the best thing that they done was put them Florida strands on that south end. South end.
Yeah.
And because the Florida strand in Guntersville, that grass is very similar to Guntersville.
Mm-hmm.
And they are able to, I mean, just like what you're saying, they're just tucking up in that grass.
They're able to
and they're just getting fat.
But they're not, and the crazy part is, like, you'll see the bait down there right now is so small. It's just like everywhere you go. But these fish are not eating small baits.
Yeah.
They're eating hand-sized brim. They're eating, the big fish are eating big stuff. And that's where they grow.
So when you're looking, let's just say, for instance, Nickajack, since we're talking Nickajack, you're fishing the south end. What are you looking for to be able to, and I know, I mean, and Nickajack may not, because I know you fish Nickajack and you know I'm going here, I'm going there, whatever.
You're going to bounce.
But what are you looking for when you get to these spots that you're wanting to go to be able to be like, all right, yeah, they're going to have, this is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for to be able to be like, all right, this is, I know I'm going to catch a fish here if this situation is set. Right.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I look at the most is the current.
Yeah.
That's the main key. It's going to tell me if they're on the flats. It's going to tell me if they're in the grass. It's going to tell me if they're up on the bank. It's going to tell me how far they are relatively anywhere.
Yeah. But that's the whole Tennessee.
That's the whole Tennessee.
All TV.
But here's
TVA
the one thing that and that's what I was going to bring up. I've started to notice the fish are getting out of there's still fish in the hydrilla. But we have so much eelgrass. There's only certain stretches that have the mixture of it. If you can find the mixture of the eelgrass and hydrilla, that's where you're going to catch your fish at.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, you've spent so much time out on the water and you've realized, like, all right, I'm looking for this mixture.
Yeah.
And if it's 50-50 mixture or whatever, I mean, in your mind when you see it, like, yeah, that's the mixture that I'm looking for. So if, let's go back to kids. We got people that's coming. If they're trying to learn, especially a new body of water, what is a piece of advice that you could give to these kids to be able to, like, all right, this is a good starting point.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go out there and hold their hand the whole time. Nobody held your hand.
No, I had
and
to learn
nobody
it all.
held our hand at all. I mean, it's all I tell people that if I go out there and my goal is to cast 1,000 times, at least 1,000 times,
Yep.
because I feel like the more times I get that line in that water, the more chance that I'm getting.
Yep.
Wintertime, summertime, that's easy.
Wintertime,
it's hard to get that 1,000 cast.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your advice to be able to tell these kids what do they need to do? Because most of the time they're not driving, but they are driving a boat. But what is their advice? Your advice to give to them, because they are at the front of the boat. They are looking at these. I mean,
they're looking
9 times out of 10 they're going to have forward facing sonar on that boat. So what are they looking at with that? What would be a good starting point?
When I got my boater safety course, I had my dad take me every if he had to work, take me, drop me off, come back, get me later. You know what I mean? I got that opportunity, and I just put much time as I could on the water, like you said. But at the same time, the one thing that I'll tell a kid any day: keep the trolling motor down. Even though I don't do it, y'all see me running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
I know.
I run a whole tank of gas out of the canvas, but you got to know. It's just one of those things. It's like me and Justin will look at each other and we're like, okay, this, and this. But the one thing that I could tell a young anglers: keep the trolling motor in the water, get as much cast, get different baits in your hand that on just a stretch of bank. So if you're fishing a mile stretch, go through 3 or 4 or 5 different baits on that bank. That will tell you.
But also, with that being said, I mean, again, if we're just talking about just going to Nickajack, all right, in 5 minutes, if I don't even get a hit, you're moving. You already know.
Yep.
But let's say you're fishing the Toyotas this next year, and let's say you go, let's just say Okeechobee, a lake that you've fished before, but you have not fished. You don't fish it often enough to be able to have your spots like you do here. Would you keep your trolling motor in the water more at Okeechobee than you would then let's say Nickajack, Chickamauga?
I think I would. I actually say this. I've never been to Okeechobee.
Oh, I thought you had went.
So I didn't go. I wanted to go down there so bad, but I didn't get the chance to go. But I feel like if I was go, so you follow us on the Toyota Series list. I think I'm gonna keep my trolling. I'm either gonna stay behind the wheel of my boat and graphing, or I'm gonna stay on the trolling motor 90% of the time now, looking at forward facing sonar. Even though I'm not the best at it, even though I'm 25 years old, I'm not good at it. I don't use it. I don't like it. I hate it.
Well, and the thing is and Pappy can tell you. I mean, because with me. I enjoy it. I'm not saying that I don't. But we're old school. I've had it on the boat 3.5, 4 years.
I remember when you got it.
But I have it going.
Yeah.
But I do not. I'm not like this, just looking down at it, right? Because I want to be able to, like, I'll look at it and I'll be like, all right, there's fish off this downfall right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't keep it on there.
Yeah.
And at first it started out being to where I'm thinking like they're realizing the ping and stuff like that. But I usually just kind of scan it, see, all right, there's brush pile, let's throw it. Because a lot of times people think, and I tell people when they see me at the boat ramp, they see it on the boat, and they're like, oh, that's one of them cheater boxes. I'm like, hey, I'm still waiting when I put this sucker in that them bass just jump right on in the boat.
With me.
And it's like, you still have to catch them.
You got to catch them.
But with that being said,
See, I'm more of a visual learner. I like to scan the terrain on the outs, from the banks. And kind of visualize how the water is, or how the structure is underneath the water, and then I'll take not necessarily the forward facing sonar, because I'm used to looking at graphs and stuff like that or maps, and I'll kind of compare the two. If we're going over something and we go over something,
Oh crap!
I like to take the the
You know,
visual of the
Yeah.
banks and the structure. In fact, we had talked about that one time. Um, I can't remember who that was with, but we had talked about how the the structure, the bank structure, will ultimately almost tell you what the bottom part of it is going to be. You know, but that's me. That's how I learn. Of course, I always learn with maps. I'm a big map guy, anyways.
yeah,
I like to
But
take.
you're a lot better at the map reading,
than anybody else is.
and guys, as we're gonna keep on chit chatting,
Listen,
but
it ain't a podcast if something don't happen with me. My phone died
his phone died, so thank goodness he's over here at
at the house.
At the house. So he's gonna come over here and we're gonna just
party over here.
so we're gonna get this readjusted here, guys. But we'll make sure that
Everything's good.
yeah. So all right, we'll turn and do like
Next
this.
little bit.
All right, you don't really need to see me, so
I don't want to show the butt here.
yeah. So,
but going back to what you were saying, like Pappy's a visual learner. Growing up, I had to be a visual learner. I mean, if I didn't, I wasn't catching fish. And I think for every kid out there, keep your eyes open too.
yeah.
If you're in the boat with somebody, keep your eyes open.
Right. And Pappy, what do you think? Like, how important do you? Because I've learned so much. Well, I mean, with map studies and stuff, like Caleb Bell is probably the best person that I've seen.
Oh yeah, hands down.
But
yeah,
but I've learned so much with because Josh or Pappy and we ride together at work. I don't know if you know that or not, but and he's a huge hunter, and so he's taught me so much about maps and just looking at the lay of the land and stuff about how deer move and stuff. And but Pappy, how important do you think it is, like, for that young angler, just like how I was asking Ryan, like how important is that map study for that young angler to, and then after he answers, Ryan, you answer, because I know, I mean, it's probably going to be the exact same answer, to be honest, but Pappy, to you, how important is that to be able to, for that young angler to be able to realize, like, well, there's this little drain ditch right here, or this point actually comes out another 40 feet, how important?
I think here's what I think. I think every young angler should start out with a map, right? They should start out with a map. They should study the map of whatever body of water, and when you take that map, because see that those topo maps, those old topo maps, it's going to show you all kinds of stuff, And I had an old one from like way back in the day, but nothing's changed underneath the water. I mean, you have a railroad crossing, or whatever, or you have a road bed. You can have a hard bottom. It could be a soft bottom. It could be a ditch. It could be a pond. I mean, a depression. You can take, if a young angler will take and read and study and learn from an old topo map of whatever body, and then take that same application to a graph and combine the two, he would be amazed at what he's already learned just because of what he's learned from the topo map. And also, if he'll take that topo map and he'll actually take it out on the water, because this is what I used to do. I would take it out on the water, and if I seen a depression or a channel or a ditch or something, I would actually look at the lay of the land, that where it's either funneling in at or whatever. Why is it doing this? why, when, where, and how. What's causing this? What caused it? And it's stuff like that. But I think if they start with just a topo map, an old topo map, and then go from there, that I mean, it'd be amazing. Because yeah, it's great. Technology's great. Not we have come a long ways in technology, and I think it's one of the greatest things that we could. It's a very very good tool to have. But you gotta think though, how did we get here? From the old ways. The old ways are still good, and no matter what. And you learn more from the old ways because everything's done for us now. So I think if you take you go back to the old style and mix in with the new style, you're gonna be fine. You'll be just fine. Personally, that's me.
Well, and one thing that before Ryan gives that his answer, that I did not even think nothing about until we were talking about hunting and stuff like that, and you're like, you see, and I can tell you exactly where we were at. We were in Hazard, Kentucky, coming back from Hazard, Kentucky, coming through all them mountains, and you're like, you see this, you see that ridge coming around, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, I see it, and he's like, and it was kind of like a no Doug type thing. Like once you said it, I was like, well, that makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. You're like, if that is just exactly what it looks like underneath the water, what it's coming down, you get, you're given a big picture is exactly what you said. This is a picture that you can see with your own eyes of how this ledge or ridge is coming down, and you're like, and you see how it's coming down the ridge, and like, all right, now let's put water up to that. Now, that's exactly, and that's how you explained it to me to where I could understand it, because you knew that I don't do much hunting and stuff like that, but I do a lot of fishing. I understood that. And where I'm going with that is, it translates to hunting, anything outdoors. Hunting, fishing, hiking, whatever, it all translates.
Well, you could. That's like, okay. Let's just say you want to go fish a bluff. All right, you coming off a bluff. Well, that bluff ain't gonna stop at the water's edge. That bluff is going down.
Yeah.
If it's a sharp 190 all the way down, that bluff is going now. It's when it bottoms out. Yeah, it may fade in a little bit, or it may just be a hard angle or something like that. But from the top of that bluff down to the bottom of that bluff, it's a bluff, and it's the same way with you take a mountainside with a saddle in the middle of it with it could be a washout or whatever. You put, like you said, you put some water on that. Well, guess what? Nothing's changing about the terrain. It's all the same. So, well, guess what that washout turned into? Now it's a channel. Guess what? Well, where the fish like to hang out at, if the conditions are right. So, you just got to play with everything and be a good visualizer. Imagination goes a long ways, and God gave us eyes to really pay attention to our surroundings, and you just got to use it. You use what you got and just put one and one together and roll with it.
Yeah. So Ryan, how important is looking at a map, even at a new body of water? Because you can learn so much, right?
Yeah.
Before you even put the boat into the water, or even before you even put eyes on the water, you can learn so much.
You can learn a lot, and I think having what we have now in technology, like Master, Navionics, anything like that, you can go and research the lake anywhere you want. So you say I'm going to, where am I going this year? Where's one of my tournaments at?
Just say Eufaula.
Eufaula. I've never been to Eufaula. I've had a lot of friends down there that's been down there, and they tell me how it is. But I'm still map studying. Even though that tournament's not until March, Or
I'll just let you know, them 10 to 12 foot logs that are floating are not logs. I'm just telling you.
Them weigh my arm. I'm my arm, my whole body, because I'm only a snack to them. I'm a chicken nugget.
So, but have you ever fished around gators?
I have. So I've been to Florida fishing. I've been to St. John's. I've been to the Kissimmee Chain, Harris Chain, fishing the opens down there. Me and Grandpa went last year and went down to the St. John's in December, thinking we're going to go down there and have fun. After one of our hunts we done, and I ended up catching like a 4-foot gator. Not thinking.
Heck yeah.
But it was funny. It was a wrestle match. And I said, "Why don't you come help me?" He said, "No, it's not my job." He just said, "You can get bit, and I'll call the doctor later." So, but yeah, I've been around gators and I've been around stuff like that. But I think, like, going back to what we were talking about, the map study. I think if you're really competitive on every place you go, you need more than a month or so to study your map.
Yeah.
To know kind of what you're going to look at, what you're not going to look at. Because, I mean, some of these tournaments you only have 3 days of practice.
Yeah.
Or 2 days of practice, to be honest with you. But if you've never been there, 3 days of practice is so overwhelming. So you got to run around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
So.
And you got to be able to utilize your time, and that's where the map.
And let me say this. I think Ryan he struck something. He said something that I really like. Starting early. So just a quick story. We normally go to South Georgia about every year to go on a hunt. It's a draw hunt, but but anyway, so we got drawn. You put in for it in like August. Well, into several hunts. We knew about what piece of properties we were going to go hunt, or we had put in for. Well, we just so happened to got chose for the Alamo hunt and down in South Georgia. Well, I'd never been to the Alamo, so what I do, I pull up my own X map and I start looking for certain areas on my map that it ridges, anything that really caught my eye, thickets, all kinds of stuff. Well, I did this. I started once I found out in September. The hunt is in November, so from September to literally 2 weeks before we was fixing to leave to go for the hunt, that's all I done was map study. Well, we get there on Saturday. We get camp set up and we go do our scouting. Well, heck, by Tuesday, goes the hunt starts on Wednesday. By Tuesday, or I'm sorry, on Thursday. By Tuesday, I already know where I'm hunting because I've done this map. But all I had to go do then is put boots on the ground to go make sure what I seen was true.
Yeah.
Well, opening morning, I'll shoot my biggest buck I ever shot. Why? It's just because I really go. It's because of map study.
Yeah.
And I that is a key thing right there, Ryan. And I think that's that. If you keep that mentality right there, son, you'll be successful at anything you do. Anything. You just doing your homework. That's part of it.
I've been fishing the BFL volunteer division since I was 16. I've been fishing those and it's each year we go to the same lake. It's crazy to say this, but I still look at them lakes before I go to them.
Yeah.
Because I can look at it and go, well, I caught fish there on this date. Well, let's find somewhere else, like on the lake. They might not be a place just like that, but there's going to be a place that's going to be close to looking like it on the map.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to, you can go look and practice. And there's some of the BFLs that I don't practice for just because I have so much, I fish so many different trails that I don't have enough time to get to go practice. So map study is very key for me.
Yeah. So Stephen Sturgeon says, what is your opinion as why the TVA lake fish are so different?
Oh,
That's a kind of double.
That's a double.
I think current.
And everybody right here, as soon as I say this, all y'all are going to agree. If there's not any current on the TVA lakes, you might as well just go on back home.
You better go home.
Just go back home. And, but
I mean, you can still catch them.
It's said though, they can be predictable. A lot easier to predict if that current's going, right?
Yes.
So, and I mean, because that current's going to push that bait, it's going to push the bait around to where it's going to put them into certain areas. And if you're on that body of water a lot, you're going to know them certain areas to where you're going to have that advantage. But
well, what's the caveat to that? If they're not pulling water or if there's no kind of current, so what do? Well, what we did is we'll go find any kind of springs or creeks, anything that is a natural flow of water. That way it creates some kind of, even if it's hot, real hot, it some kind of oxygen, but mainly because of the bait. That's where the bait's going to go, So just kind of piggyback off that.
Yeah, talking about TVA places that if it, like Chickamauga, if the current cuts off on Chickamauga, the ledge fish are not going to bite.
Yeah.
I tell you the one thing that I learned a few years ago from Andy Morgan, a good friend of mine. He goes, there's always fish up in the bushes. If you go flip a bush, you'll catch a fish. He goes, they ain't got to be current up there. You just got to catch them. You got to be that good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even like TVA fisheries are so different because of that. Right there. You got to have current. And if you don't, like Nickajack, Chickamauga, Gunnersville, Wheeler, all these TVA lakes, the current plays the factor.
Yeah. But
they're bougie fish. That's mine.
Do what?
They're bougie fish.
Yeah, they real bougie.
They are. But with that being said, though, Chickamauga, Nickajack, Gunnersville. I mean, you can even go up to Watts Bar. Watts Bar has come a long ways.
Yeah.
But them three lakes right there, you could go out and the opportunity to catch a double-digit fish is very real on them three lakes.
Very high.
But just because you go out there don't mean you're going to catch it. No, you might not catch 10 pounds. I mean, again, if that current, again, it's all current related. But I want to talk though.
Before we change the subject right here, I'm going to tell myself. So we had Dream Chasers, a trail that we have around here, and me and my partner Justin, we fish every team tournament together most of the time. And we fished on Nickajack, and it was one of them days we went out there and was like, "We gonna catch them." You know what I mean? Like it felt good.
Yeah.
We didn't check the current. We zeroed for the first time this year. All year, we finally zeroed. And I was like, yeah.
That's a hard walk.
And that is a hard walk because when everybody looks at you like, that's the person you got to watch. And you're like, I got zero, buddy.
Yeah.
What else do you want me to do? But it was so funny. Day 2, we go to Chickamauga. And there's people that talk to me that, I mean, I'll say it here on the podcast. I don't like Chickamauga. I don't like to go up there because of the pressure. And that's why I stay on Nickajack. But we went to Chickamauga, and I done the thing that everybody else will do. I hit the bank and threw a crankbait most of the day and ended up catching my limit in a matter of minutes.
Well, and that's the thing, though, that, I mean, you can pretty much go to any body of water. It's not just TVA.
Yeah.
But you can go throw a crankbait, a spinnerbait, and a Texas rig, and you can go down the bank and catch fish all day long and go catch fish. You might not catch the biggest fish,
but you'll catch
but
fish.
You're going to catch fish. With those 3 baits, you can catch fish.
Yeah. And that's what I'll tell any angler that's just getting into it. Like, so I worked at Bass Pro for 4 years. When somebody would come in, that would be what I would grab them to set them up.
I mean, because you can't go wrong with a Texas rig, especially somebody that has not fished for bass. A Texas rig, you can go out there and just let them chunk a worm all day long. Mm-hmm. And I mean, to me, that's my favorite. That's my go-to bait. If I need to go catch a fish, that's what's going to be in my hand. But with that being said, what I kind of want to go back to your sponsors because I do want to allow you to be able to kind of give them a shout out on here. So who has helped you, and do you have a new sponsor for this next upcoming year? I know it's still kind of early. It's a time where you're trying to work things through to be able to get it. But let's do this. Who was your sponsors for last year that you had?
So I had Miss Kim over at Jack's Bait and Tackle. I had not expert. That was a few years ago. I'm sorry. I had the Boathouse, Camus Boats, Mercury, Power Pole, Phoenix Rods, Zoom, Avery's Monuments from here in Flint, Chattanooga Valley. There's a few other. I'm sorry that I'm blanking on you. Motor City Auto, where I just got my new truck at. They just hopped on with me and helped me out getting a new truck and everything like that. So
yeah, and that's one nice ride you got out there in the yard. So. But I mean, because if it wasn't for them, I mean, sponsors help out so much that people really don't understand of what they do. I mean, again, even if it's just a bait company or something like that, you're getting bait from them, or even if a discounted rate or something like that. I mean, every little thing, because you still got to go out there and buy the chatterbaits or whatever. If you're throwing a chatterbait, you're still going out there. You still have to spend that money. So it's not just because you get a bait sponsor does not mean that. That's
the only bait company you're going to throw.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and there's not one angler out there that will tell you, well, I'm only throwing such and such amount Gary Yamamoto's because I'm sponsored by Gary Yamamoto's. Well, he's got a lot of baits, but I know when I go to Clark's Hill or whatever, I'm over here using this. I mean, they want you. The companies want you, a tournament angler. They want you to be able to win. But because they know when you win, they take in pictures, they see their names are up on your jersey, and other people are seeing their names on your jersey, and then they're like, oh. I mean, because you don't have to say, like, if you won it on a chatterbait, they don't have to see, you don't have to tell them, well, I caught it on this other company's bait. And 9 times out of 10, people are not going to say, especially if it was not somebody else's bait, they're not going to tell. But somebody sees that bait company on your shirt and see, they're going to be like, I bet it was one of those. And then they're going to search, and that's how it all kind of trickles down.
And I can't remember who it was at the time. They won a tournament, and he literally, like, in the video, you can, like, during the broadcast, you can see him throwing this bait. But when he popped it up, it was like, this is what I was using. It was a whole different bait.
Yeah.
And and it was a good friend of mine, actually, to be honest with you. I went up to him, I said, hey, that's a harsh little thing right there. He goes, you understand where we're coming from because you're in this industry now. And I said, yeah. He goes, there's sometimes we have to do that. And it was and the crazy part is I figured it out. It was a prototype bait. That's the only reason why he didn't show it. He couldn't show it.
Yeah. And which, I mean, we get prototype stuff, and that's definitely understandable. Yeah. I do want to ask, because I know with doing like media and stuff with bass, like the Japanese people are so conservative about their baits. They hide their baits. You've got a friend of yours that is a Japanese angler. Was he like that with you? Even with you, because I know we went out on Nickajack and we seen y'all.
Yep.
And was he like that when it's just the two of y'all? Is he? I'm sure he kind of opens up a little.
He opens up. He understands that I'm learning and he's learning, everything like that. And I see the comment, Mom. Yes, so that G&G Vending is her little company that helped me out this year, and
she can help the podcast out too.
You know, she helps me out. Mom and Dad, that's the biggest sponsor, and that's the one I forget. Mom and Dad, because no matter what, Mom and Dad's gonna help.
Yeah.
No matter what about that.
Yeah.
But Taku is very different when he's in person.
Yeah.
He's not very conservative, but it's crazy to say this. He brought his baits, but he was more interested in looking at my rod locker, looking at my baits, because he wanted to learn more about the American baits.
Yeah.
Because he sees it over there, but he wants to see what I do with it over here.
Right.
And so that's what I was very, very cool about.
Yeah. So
he didn't fish much. He didn't fish much. He was like, and he'll look at it, and it's crazy because he can look at a bait and he's like, you need to change this.
Yeah.
And I change it and I catch fish on it way more.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is they're so detailed oriented. And which I enjoy running into Taku and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes it's hard to understand them.
Oh yeah.
But he's probably the best one to understand.
Oh yeah, he's
out of the bunch. But the deliverance of what they do. I mean, talking about map studies, going from Japan to United States and coming through the rankings as quick as what they do is phenomenal to me.
Yeah. Oh, Jeremy's on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was on.
I'm looking at Facebook here.
I was talking to him earlier. He's
Jeremy's
sending me videos.
Guy.
Guys, it's on my Facebook, so that's Jeremy Farmer. He hand makes these glide baits that are phenomenal. Check him out. Pull him up on Facebook, Jeremy Farmer. Check his videos out and order them. He hand makes everything, paints them, the mold and stuff. I don't really want to go into too much detail on it. But it's all from. Well, I mean, and that's what I was talking to him, and I was telling him. I said, I need to get you on here. So,
but yeah, sorry.
But let's see. Jacob Willis says, "Hey Ryan, great to share a lake with you on upcoming Legends. What? How was the fishing during the Black Friday tournament? 8 pounds.
8 pounds. I went up the river thinking the smallmouth were going to bite because it was a chillier day. Should have went down the river and live scope. Didn't. Got my butt.
But yeah. And which we're going to wrap this up here in a second.
We've got so far off topic real fast.
Well, that's one thing that I really enjoy because we go down some rabbit holes and it just goes. But for the people that don't know, like you could go to Nickajack. One end you can go and smash some largemouth. The other end you can go and catch a bunch of spots and smallmouths. And I mean they're decent size on either end of the spectrum. The middle is kind of
You can catch a big largemouth out of from under a dock.
Yeah,
I've done that multiple times.
But
so
with that being said, Pappy, you got any other questions?
No, that's about it. No, I'm ready. I am ready to get back out on the lake though, but just not right now. It's too cold for me.
Well, we got to get you that foul weather gear from Firefly. Once that happens, you're going to be ready
But
to go.
hey, I will say before we do end this, Pappy J and Colin have some big news coming out pretty soon. So everybody be
A
be
lot of big
aware.
news. Yeah.
Huh?
We got quite a bit of big news coming out.
Yes, we got some things going and everything's looking good. I mean, we're both stoked, pumped, and excited all in one jar. So we will be coming out with some news, some phenomenal news. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
pretty soon. We just got to get some stuff in line, and can't wait to break it. That's for sure.
Well, and we also, not to kind of get away from that, because I mean, we do have some. It's all we're doing is just tying up the loose ends of everything that we got going on, and
Yep.
hopefully within the next week or two, we're going to be breaking some pretty big news. I mean, this within the past 2 to 3 months. I mean, we've been pulled up the britches and just went hammered down, and we've got stuff to happen.
Yep.
But with that being said, we've got another good buddy of ours that just came on. Ben Green is in here watching.
So, Ben.
Ben Green is he owns Ben Green's Insurance, and which we had been on. Not, I guess it's at the beginning of the year talking about. It was right before spring and stuff because we wanted people to be safe out on the water, getting everything ready. With the insurance. And so go, if you are looking for insurance for your boat, vehicle, and stuff like that, he primarily does, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. He primarily is just for fishermen, correct? Yep. And so look him up on Facebook, just Ben Green Insurance, and a heck of a guy. I mean, I've known people that has used him for years, and I mean, even from when he lived in California, he lives now in the Chattanooga area, for say, but and that they had issues with they had an accident with their boat, and before they could even get the boat to the shop to get it started fixed, Ben and his people there at the insurance place, they had everything set up ready to go from the go. There was no, besides the fact of them fixing the problem for the boat, it was all taken care of.
So plugged it right there. Yeah. Home auto and watercraft exclusively for English.
Yeah. So, so with that being said, there you go, guys. So, hope everybody had a heck of a Thanksgiving. I know we sure did. We had family over. I ate probably way too much and regretted it the next day. And, but Pappy, you want to ask the last question that Ryan has already answered twice?
Well, I tell you what, let's let you do the honor since he's right there in your lap.
Yeah. Actually, I got close enough to him. It's funny, you know. It's a great podcast when your own phone dies. That's the best part.
So, let's see. He says 23 states. See y'all soon. Yeah. So Ryan, if you could fish with somebody for the day, could be with us or have already passed, who would that be, and why would you want to fish with them? I cannot remember who you said, though, to be honest with you.
So I've fished with I've been very grateful to be able to fish with a bunch of guys over the last few years. But I tell you, the one person that I've always wanted to get in the boat with, that I've not got to get in the boat with lately, is Brandon Polinick. I've never been able to get in the boat with him. I've talked to him a bunch of times, and he's so great with teaching somebody
Yeah.
new stuff, and he's doing so good over the last few years. I just think it would be a good time to get in the water with him and be able to go and fish and talk and have fun and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with him, and for sure. I mean, and especially if you're wanting to try to do some deep cranking, because that tournament at the beginning of the year, this past year, where he
on Okeechobee,
where he just went in and just destroyed them on a crankbait.
Yep.
That and those guys, he had them fish locked in.
Yeah, and to say that, I mean, a lot of people, if you know. A lot of people, my old team partner was Kyle Watcher.
Yeah.
So think about that. I was with one of the best in the world. So.
Yeah, that's.
He's an AOY champion now, so it's crazy to say that. So.
Yeah. But, well, and at Bass and in the
NBFL, yes sir.
So.
Forgot about that.
But guys, with that being said, Ryan, brother, thank you for coming on. And
we gotta do it again.
We
always talk about this.
And
it's been great.
I don't know about you, Pappy, but I'm tired of snow, cold weather, and having to work all night. So I'm dog tired, and I think I talked too much today, but I think it's just because I was tired.
I want to do something real fast before we end it. I want to try to help end it.
Yeah.
I want to say thanks to all the sponsors that support the Deck Talk podcast. I know Bruiser Baits, Firefly, Yellow Tech, Joe Burns Rods. Who else we got over there?
Cornfield
Fishing,
Spare
Point, Proline Baits, and
nope, don't say that last one.
Gotcha. So. But they're very great companies that would step up and help y'all. I'm very grateful for, as we talked about a minute ago, my sponsors from last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it out there. I know y'all have friends. I know people watch this. I'm looking for a new title sponsor.
Yeah.
My title sponsor actually stepped away. So people that are out there on the Deck Talk podcast, I know there's some companies watching, some companies that are not watching.
Yeah.
I need a new title sponsor. If not, we're going to raft the boat in around Godsey fishing.
Yeah.
That's going to be weird going down the boat.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, I mean, for what, 3 or 4 years, Kyle Welcher had Kyle Welcher fishing YouTuber.
You know the reason? I can tell you the exact story why he did that.
Why's that?
He couldn't get the wrap in time to get. He couldn't get the PDF for his title sponsor to get on there. To get the wrap.
So, but there you go.
There you go, guys.
So,
thank y'all for letting me join.
Yep, we're gonna get off here. Again, hope y'all have a blessed day, and and remember, G&G Vending is also a sponsor of Ryan, even though he forgets his own mama and daddy.
Oh, mama and daddy.
So,
that's hard.
But we'll holler at y'all later. Hope y'all have a blessed one. See you guys.
See ya.